You're watching Unfoodable. I'm your host, Lauren, and joined with me today is the CEO of Tock, Nick Kokonas. Today, we're discussing how Tock repurposed their app platform to provide real-time solutions for restaurateurs. Now, more than ever, it's crucial for operators to get on board with the off-premise model, and the use of technology can make this a frictionless experience for both the restaurant and the consumer. Nick, thanks for joining us today.
Great to be here, Lauren.
All right, I am super fascinated about this application, and I really want to get to what it is all about. So can you explain what Tock is?
Sure. Tock is a reservations platform for restaurants operating in 28 countries around the world. And really about, for a consumer, discovering great restaurant experiences, not just like booking a table at your favorite restaurant, but knowing which table you're going to book, or that great food pop-up that's coming to your city, or a chef's table experience, or a winery. And that was until March, and the current crisis hit. And we realized that restaurants needed help in other ways to reposition themselves. And also communities really needed access to food. And so we took the data structures in Tock and we reconfigured them to create Tock To Go. And that has served thousands of restaurants now to do frictionless carryout and pickup of food all around the country.
Yeah, I want to go into the Tock To Go because I think it's actually pretty interesting. Because a lot of us were using Uber Eats and Postmates, and there's only so many restaurants. And with Tock, you're giving people a very classy option for them to order. And being here in South Florida, I did see you had some really nice restaurants on there. So how did you even come up with the idea to create Tock To Go?
Well, in addition to being the CEO and founder of Tock, I also own 5 restaurants. And as we watched our reservations go from full to empty in the matter of 3 or 4 days, when mandatory shelter in place was put in, we could see that happening in Hong Kong, where we had clients, and then on the West Coast in Seattle, where Canlis is a client of ours. And so we realized that we really needed to help restaurants that ordinarily would not do carry out or takeout figure out how to do it efficiently, do an elevated experience for guests, and do it cost effectively. A lot of those apps that you mentioned charge a restaurant 20 to 30%,
Oh, wow.
which may be fine during normal operations where it's just an extra hamburger going out the back door, or some wings, or a pizza. But now that restaurants, 100% of their revenue was reliant on carryout, and you had mid-tier to upscale restaurants trying to do better carryout, those wouldn't cut it. And so we took all of the way that we look at kitchen pacing, the way that we have two-way text messaging, and we wanted to create an elevated carryout experience for both guests and for the restaurants, so that they could hire back their employees and contribute to their communities.
Okay, so right now, as you explained with the COVID situation going on, a lot of these restaurants had to close down. So I feel like Tock To Go is really offering these restaurants an opportunity to open back up. So with that being said, are they creating anything different on their menus?
Absolutely. It's one thing to just take a burger and fries and put it in a box, and then someone opens it up after it gets off the scooter and you eat it. It's another thing to take like a steakhouse or a great Italian restaurant or a great Japanese restaurant and make that experience emotionally resonant to the guest the way it would be if they were dining in. And so people at restaurants all around the country have created everything from grocery store experiences, like CSA boxes. We've connected farms and ranches that normally supply the restaurant industry with consumers. And then we have restaurants that are doing really wonderful multi-course carryout that require some assembly when you get home. So there's some cooking instructions in there and all of that. And my restaurants are doing over 2,000 meals a day like that. And the
Wow.
fun part is that we have a little plating challenge we put on Instagram, and people hashtag out that. And so the thing is it's not just about reemploying our employees, which is incredibly important. It's also about having that sense of joy during this time, that I think people go to restaurants to have this, social experience as well. And that's what's lost here now that we're all on Zoom from our homes.
Yeah.
And that's come back a little bit with this. And so it's more than just, a carry out burger. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I love those.
Yeah.
But it's about trying to bring a little bit of that restaurant experience home.
Yes, you hit it right on the nail right there because I'm pretty sure since we've been in this for a couple months now, people are kind of getting sick of the same restaurants around. And I know myself, I'm really missing these restaurants. And so seeing that Talk here in South Florida is offering some very nice restaurants and that dining experience that I miss out, I would definitely be a user of this. But I really want to know how you're finding these restaurants to begin with. Like, how are you approaching restaurants or are they approaching you?
Yeah, we had about 3,000 clients in 28 countries before the current crisis. And we have added in the last 30 days over 1,000 restaurants in the US alone, and wineries and farms. And so every day we get about 100 inquiries about how can I be part of this? How can we expand our operations? And we're also building with Talk 20 that we're launching just in a couple days. We're launching contactless payment, reservations for restaurants that typically don't take reservations so that they can
Mhm.
control their capacity. So we're taking all the best practices of what we used to do and helping to bridge to a future where hopefully we just go back to restaurants as normal.
Yeah. Do you feel that Talk is offering restaurants an additional revenue stream for this time?
Oh, absolutely. Every day millions and millions of dollars flow through Talk to restaurants. And it is a way for many restaurants to hire back their staffs during a time where many were furloughed entirely. For my own restaurants, we hired back the entirety of our staffs on May 1. So it's over 300 employees here in Chicago, and that's not unique to us. We see restaurants all over the country that are moving slowly back to reemploying people. And as we're opening back up, capacity is going to be limited. So they're saying that many municipalities that you can be at 25% or 50% of full capacity. That's not enough to run a restaurant profitably on. And so doing a hybrid between limited operations that are safe, clearly communicating that to your clients and diners, and then also doing the carry out as a supplement, all in one platform is incredibly important.
Okay, so now say for example I'm one of these restaurants that is interested in, working with Talk. How do you train them on how to actually get this up and going?
Webinars, webinars, webinars.
Oh, wow.
Right now it is the only way to do business. Normally, we would
Mhm.
definitely send someone out to the restaurant if they so chose. Now we do a lot of what we're doing right now: video calls, conferences. We have a staff of over 100 people where we onboard 60 to 70 new restaurants every day. And the system is cloud based. So any browser, any computer, any tablet, any phone will work without having to download or install anything.
All right, let's get back to the actual app. I was going through the website and I saw something that made me laugh. You guys referenced that Talk is like Tinder for your taste buds. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, that's Talk Time, which we'll be launching soon, which is like digital concierge service. And one of the things that is always tricky is that you either want to plan ahead, a week or two, or sometimes you just want something just tomorrow. And most applications for restaurant reservations start with a giant funnel, and you say Mexican food, and then you have to click through to each restaurant and find a table. And often that's a frustrating user experience. And what we did is we built the system where we can just basically say, swipe left, see a table that's available near me, swipe, swipe, swipe. When you swipe up, you book that table. So it shows what's available right now. It is a bit like Tinder for your taste buds. We're just matchmaking.
I love it. I thought it was a great reference. All right, so do you think that we're going to see an implementation of table reservation mixed with ordering ahead through the app technology once we get out of this whole pandemic? But I know people are trying to look to reduce their exposure, so I'm wondering how Talk's going to integrate that after this is all kind of cleared out.
Yeah, and so we're actually doing that now. You can, as different cities open up, you can book on Talk. You can often pre-order if the restaurant so chooses. You can pre-order your meal, so that you can just arrive and they'll already know what you've ordered. You can order at the table through the application. And you can even pay upon egress. And all of this is controlled by the restaurant. So different restaurants have different ideas of the best way to implement what they're doing safely and still provide great hospitality. So I know for my restaurant, we're going to be doing some ordering ahead. We're also going to be doing some contactless payment which by the way, that should have been here a long time ago.
Yeah,
It's
I
weird
definitely
that we
agree.
drop a check down and then you put a credit card down and then someone runs it and you're waving at the guy in the back. And even at, we try to provide great hospitality. There are times when things are really busy. Why can't I just get that text message on my phone, click the button
Yeah.
and pay? That,
Yeah.
that isn't bad hospitality. That's actually better than waving at the waiter who's, missing your eye.
Yeah. Do you think that Tock is going to be with the restaurants as far as, the consumer is wanting to maybe just go in there, they only have a limited amount of time, maybe they have some, things that they're going on afterwards. Do you think that Tock will help them pay for their meal and have everything kind of ready for them so they don't have to be in the restaurant as long?
Yeah, we do that already. And
Wow.
so, again, a restaurant can go into the application, set up different experiences. An experience could be anything from an a la carte, order as you arrive, to prepackaged, 3-course meals. They can be simple 3-course meals or they can be super fancy ones. And so streamlining that actually allows the restaurant to provide better hospitality once you get there.
Cool. All right. Well, we're about to wrap this up, but I really want to encourage people to go check out your social media because you're doing something fun. I was just chatting with you earlier about it. You want to explain what it is on your social media
Yeah,
with the puzzles?
for Alinia's 15th anniversary, we wanted to engage with our clients who are very passionate, and we came up with an idea of working with the Mystery League. Sandy Weiss is a friend of mine, and he makes these hard to describe kind of puzzles. They're not like jigsaw puzzles; they're like brain puzzles, like logic puzzles. And so we created a series of ambiguous pop-up themed puzzles where each week we create a new fake restaurant, and the restaurant itself is a puzzle. And for the people who solve it, and we usually have about 100,000 people playing, and 500 to 1,000 people kind of figure it out. And we sent out everything from signed chef coats from Grand Achatz to bottles of rare whiskey as prizes to the winners.
Wow, that's so awesome. All right,
Yeah, it's
you
really
guys,
fun.
check that out. Definitely. I highly encourage you to, and maybe you'll win something fun. Nick, thank you so much for stopping in on the show today to discuss Tock To Go and share your insights on the future of off-premise and restaurant app technology.
Thank you, Lauren.
All right, guys, for more great content, follow us on Twitter at Foodable. And if you have an idea for an episode, send us an email to producer@foodabletv.com. We'll catch you next time right here on Foodable.